see where we left off with the Yacht dice game. I think we were only working on sort of the back end. Yeah, we got the Yacht controller, but not much there, right? Yeah. So let's see where we were. I think we had just started. So let's check out if we left ourselves some notes. We did. Yay. Okay. So we need to check that the score is being rendered because it's currently not. And we would like to refactor the Yacht controller code. Oh yeah, there's a bug in the full house validation. All right, so let's run the game. Let's see where we're at. All right, let's go localhost, and we want 9090. So many ports. All right, so welcome to the game of Yacht. We click this to roll the dice. We rolled a 6, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's score this in the ones category. No, let's score this in the twos category. And nothing happens. That's fine, because that's what we expected. Are we even showing the score? I don't even think we're showing the score. We're putting it in the model, and we have a test for it. And so now what we want to do is we want to change this to not just that it contains attribute, but that the attribute, well, at least initially, there is no score, but we want to actually display it. So let's go change it so that we actually display the score. The roll result, we'll put that up here. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we'd actually created some CRC cards for where we thought we'd have a scoreboard object that hasn't quite appeared yet. It probably will, but I think we're just gonna do. Yeah, so here's the scorecard. Scoreboard. Right, so we got game and we have the game and the scoreboard. But we'll take it step by step. So one of the things that is interesting is like I'll use CRC cards to do design, but we may not jump right in and do that. But at least it helps our thinking. But I'm still letting the TDD drive our code. So we've got the score in our model, so let's at least display it on the page. Let's say your score or current score. And that's, we'll put that in a span. Page text. Score. And we can preview this just to see what it looks like. That looks fine. I really do want to pull in Tailwind into this as well. I want to make this bigger. Let's... do that. And font size large. I have no idea what that'll look like. Now I'm just playing around. That's pretty good. Okay, that's good enough. Maybe I'll make it large. And font weight bold. Cool. Okay, good. So, so now we should have the score appear. So if we refresh this page, what happened? Did I stop the application? Why is it not running? I must have stopped it. Not running, right? That's so weird. Did I stop it without thinking? Because I don't remember me stopping it. Whoops. Shouldn't be able to go there. Okay, roll dice. Current score is 0. We rolled this. And we would want to score that actually as 5s, but whatever. Okay, so we got the score appearing. I mean, I guess we could try to score it as 2s, but it doesn't do anything because we don't do anything there. All right, so we got, we should have the score, but we're always returning 0. So we'd like to have a test that forces us to actually have a score that is, well, so this score should be 0. So let's do get attribute, and then this is equal to 0. So that should still pass. Let's run all tests. All domain tests. Okay, so all our tests pass. So what we want now is we'd like another yacht controller test. So here we instantiate the yacht controller, we roll the dice, we assign it to category of 3s. So now what we want to do is we want to take a step out, because this test should be operating at the layer of the controller. So now we have information. Now we can get at this sort of at the right level. And it's interesting. People do this differently. They might have accessed it via the model directly and then mocked out the connection. But everyone does things differently. So we're going to access the score. So yacht controller. Oh, that's because this is the assign role to category. Right, so this doesn't take a model, it redirects to the role results. Oh yeah, so we might not be able to... We'd have to call role results so we can get the score. Okay, so let's do that. So let's see. So we roll dice, we assign role to category, and then we can say yacht controller role results, and we need to pass in a model. So model equals new concurrent model. Now we can get access to the score, and this should still be true. Let's run that. Okay, so this test fails. Although we expected it to be equal, since this is returning a string, we now need to convert this to a string. So let's do that. Convert number to, no. Wrap it with darn, I kind of want IntelliJ to help me here. Help me here. And I do like not instance of. Oh, I guess I'll just have to do string value of. I have a feeling I'm going to be doing a lot of that though. Let's go see if we create a live template. Let's go and add a live template for string value of. So So this would be string.value of selection. Wait, this is a surrounds with? What do I want to do here? I think that's what I want to do. Find this, and so this is certainly in Java expression. Forget if that's reformat, that's fine. Let's see if I can do that. Yes, perfect, great, okay. I wasn't sure because it's been a while since I've created a surround with template, but that did exactly what I needed to do. Okay, so I want it to fail now because it does not equal 6 as the string versus 6 as the number. Okay, so that's good. So now what we can do is we can go back and have this properly do the score, except what this requires is for us to actually have some place that knows about the score. Okay, so so this is going to fail because I don't think game. Well, we do have game score, so we can do that. So let's do that. Now, does this convert it to a string? It's an object, so it'll certainly have to convert it to an integer. Do we care? I actually don't care, but I don't know what it comes out of the other side as. So let's run it and see how our tests fail. So here we've got a failure with the 0. So I guess it is returning a number. Because that's what we're getting. And this is confusing. I'm going to ignore that. This is the problem. Expecting 0 to be equal to the. So do we want score to be a number? Or a string? Well, the wizard says string of 0. I mean, it gets rendered as text anyway. So really the decision comes down to, do I make it easy to add to the attribute here, or do I make it easy to test? What do we want to put in the model? Do we want to put a string or a number? If we put a string, then we have to change this to convert it to a string, which is not a big deal. I kind of feel like I just want strings. I think the score should be text because there may be a point where we format it. I don't think you can get into the thousands, but if we did, we would have to put in commas. So let's treat this as a string. Okay, so actually all our tests pass, so that's good. Let's go back to here. Right, so the initial dice roll, we get the roll and we get the score, so that's all good. We assign this to 3s, and that works. So now what we need to do is we need to hook it up to the actual roll result page. Right now these buttons don't do anything, so let's make the buttons do something. So what we want to do is we want to do a post to basically select category. This string needs to come in from somewhere. So we could write a mock MVC test that tests this method as a post mapping. So that way we make sure that the category gets assigned properly depending on the form submit contents. Let's at least write the first one that does that. I don't think after that we'll need any more. So let's that would be a web test, yacht controller test we've looked at. This is a web test. Let's see. So post to select category scores, roll result for that category. Oh, I guess we have a test for that. Well, what do you know? It passes. Why am I surprised? No, seriously, why am I surprised? I'm surprised because there's no annotation here. Because it picks it up from the name of the variable, which always makes me a bit uncomfortable. Because if I do like some kind of refactor rename, I've now, like if this is just cat, I don't think it'll work. Oops. Unless it just assigns the first string. Yeah. So this is dangerous. Hey there, Stankovich tab. IntelliJ is good. It doesn't just look good. And some people think it looks better in dark mode. Not me, but some people. So this to me is why I don't like the fact that this works. So what we should be really doing is saying query parameter or request body. Somebody's got a lot of test passing points that could be redeemed. I won't say any names. This would be a request. Is this considered a request param? God, this stuff, I swear, drives me crazy because I feel like I have to relearn it every single time I use it when I haven't used it in a while. I don't think it's a request parameter. Oh, I guess it is a request parameter because it maps query parameters, form data, and parts. So I guess it is a request because it's mapping that stuff at the servlet API level. Right. So it is a request param. But I can give it a name, right? Right? I can do that. So that should work. Okay, so that fixed it. So now I'm a bit more comfortable using that string. Okay, so we have actually tested, whoops, not that test, that test. So button name, category, value ones. Oh, actually the button, all right. The button does have it because the button has the button name and values. So this should just work. The problem is, why wasn't it? Oh, because we were assigning it to full house if it wasn't threes. Okay, so we need to kind of fix that. It's stupid o'clock. Okay, so let's restart the game. We'll roll the dice. We can put it in the threes category. And look, our score got updated. So that worked. All right. We can check that off on our list and we can do a commit here. So this is done. And so let's do a commit. Score is now displayed on the page and updated after assigning role to the freeze category. That okay. Huh. Okay. Okay, so now the next thing is we need to figure out, we want to be able to assign to multiple categories based on the button. So I think we can pretty much so let's write a test, and we can just now drop down a layer. Instead of going through a post, we can actually drop down now to talk directly to the Yacht controller itself. Let's see. So assign dice, full house results in core 6. That's right. Disp die is don't solve problems that you don't yet have. That's disp dive. Doesn't roll off the tongue like Yagni does. So let's do a test where assign dice roll 1 1 1 2 3 2 1s results in score of 3. So we'll basically do that. This will be 1 1 1 2 3, and we'll create. We'll roll the dice. We'll assign a roll to category 1s, and then we can assert that the game score equal to 1 + 1 + 1. I was so happy when the other day I suggested to Coding Garden, because I was watching his stream, he was doing some testing, and I was suggesting, hey, don't just say is equal to 3, say is equal to 1 + 1 + 1, because that's more clear what you're doing, and plus why should you do math in your head? And so he changed it and he liked that. So I was happy that I was able to contribute to his stream, because usually I'm just watching him do stuff and I'm like, I can't do that. Apparently it's it's 6.28 inches on the diagonal. So I'm kind of tiny. Well, that's fine, but I'm amazed that you can read the code. Unless you're really not reading the code and you're just listening. But you've pointed out stuff that I think means you can read the code. Only in landscape. Well, good. Now that tells me that my font is big enough. Because I've watched some streamers, some live coding streamers, and their font is, first of all, they're in dark mode, so the contrast isn't great anyway. And then their fonts are really tiny, and they're also then in 720p, and so it gets even fuzzier. And I'm like, I can't even read that on my full screen, let alone think about reading that on my tablet. And forget phone. Yeah, what font size am I at? I think I'm at like 15. Yeah, 15. Which is actually fine. Like I usually am in 15 or 16 when I'm presenting. So that's good. Okay. Let's run this test. This test will likely fail. So let's go back to running all domain tests. Then you've got good eyesight if it's 6 or 7 point. Oh, VH Dunpeel. Shouldn't category be an enum? Yep, we'll get there. Right, we're doing TDD, so we don't do a lot of upfront work. but it's getting clear that category is wanting. So one of the things we want to do when we're doing TDD is we want to listen to the code. What's getting awkward? What's open to causing bugs? And definitely categories is starting to say a bit more loudly, hey, you know, I should be an enum over here. And we're about to get to that because we're going to need to generalize the code to start mapping stuff. It's only 8 inches from you. Well, that still means you have good eyesight. Like, I can't see stuff that close anymore. Okay, so this fails, which is great because once it fails, we can now go. We now have the freedom to go write code. So let me rename this back. So clearly, we could add another if statement, right? We could totally do. Else if blah 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 blah, right? We could totally do that. Right, that would this, and then you know, game assign to one's category. So this would totally work. But no, we should be listening to the code. Wanaja, you're drunk. You're totally fine, Wanaja. You're welcome anytime. Visit this Discord. Hang out there as well. But you're completely welcome. Offie says Kent in these new chapters is showing way more his humor. Yeah, he's kind of funny. So clearly this is not going to fly. Right, we've certainly, even just before we did this, it's clear this was saying, look, this is just, it works, right? I mean, we'll get the test to pass, but now we need to switch to refactor mode. So let's switch to refactor mode. Yeah, I'm not worried about category being null. There's. I wouldn't put in that protection. And I actually don't like switching that around. I like protecting against null right up front. If I were worried about this, because the only way this can come in as null is if there's a bug in the front end. But we're going to manage that anyway. I'm not worried about that kind of validation. And the tendency to sort of convert this, to flip it, I actually don't like. I know people do that to avoid NPEs. But I actually, if I really cared about that, I'd actually put a guard clause right up front, and then basically get out of there. No, we do not want a state machine. Thank you very much. No. Even if it warranted it, no. Okay, what we do want is we really want some kind of map. And yeah, we're close to the end of my stream. And it's a 3-day weekend. Technically, I shouldn't be streaming today, but I don't go according to what the man says. But it is the July 4th holiday here in this country, even though it's not July 4th. So let's do a commit, because we got the test to pass, and then we'll plan the refactoring. To be fair, if I hadn't tried to build one myself, it would have been fine. Fair enough. So let's go open up commit. We added support for the case of assigning role to the ones category. Need to next step is to refactor assign role to category. So we'll save that for next time. And so again, when you're in all test passing, that is now when you can refactor. And so actually, I include that as part of my TDD game. There is the only places you can use your refactor card, if you got one, was when you're in the what should it do, so you're figuring out what to do next. How do you know it did it, which is when you're trying to figure out what you're going to assert against. So in both of those cases, you should be in green. And I'm missing a thing. Oh yeah, and when you're about to write code for a test, but you haven't written it yet, you are in green and you're okay to refactor. All other states, you've got a failing test somewhere and you should not be refactoring. Now, that's not strictly what I follow, because if I have multiple layers of boundaries that I'm checking against, it's fine. I need to be green in the boundary I'm working with. Well, it just says, oh, cool wizard, Dead makes his own rules. Yeah. But I just said, did someone talk about state? Took weeks to come out with documentation. What became of the situation in the end? Did they get something together? No, you're in the doghouse. Go grab your blanket and pillow. You're in the doghouse. No, actually, I basically have reset my my working code base all the way back, and now I'm working forward again. I just haven't done it on stream because I actually haven't had time to do it on stream. You're fine, no worries. For the UK edition, I need a red card out of tea bags. A red card out of tea bags. I feel like there's something I'm getting there that's culturally specific, or something has been automatically corrected that I'm not getting. All right, so we know what to do next, which is to refactor. So let's go put that in our. So let's go switch our. Oops. That's not what I wanted to push. That's what I wanted. So we are noting tasks for next stream. That's what we're doing. Oh, no tea break and the dev team stops working. We're mostly coffee drinkers here, so it would be there's no coffee, and so we're on strike. I have to remember to translate tea to coffee. All right, and then that's going to be our next thing. So let's go figure out what we're going to do next time for this project. Basically, it's this. So we guessed right that this was what we were going to do, and we'll do that next time. We'll fix that bug next time, and this will probably force us to refactor out to some kind of scoreboard to start tracking which things have been assigned to. All right, so we're done for today, and we're all done for figuring out what we're going to do next time. So as a reminder, first of all, thank you for all of the follows and participation today. I really do appreciate it. You know, it's really nice. Like, you know, I don't get the level of sort of number of viewers that like a Coding Garden or other folks do, and that's totally fine, because the folks I do have, you folks really make it worth it. Your participation and giving me feedback and asking good questions. That's what, you know, that's a big part of why I do this. So thank you. I will see you next time.
Be strong. Be strong.